Hot off the presses, a new trademark has entered the arena. An off-topic note, these two movies came out January 31st. And to be honest with you, both of them are awesome! Dogman is continued representation that style is king! Disney, you're going to die unless you evolve as a company. Dogman has more wit and heart than you can possibly imagine. And you will love little Petey. Oh my goodness, he's a beautiful child. Thank you, Peter Hastings. Thank you. Gosh, that was a good movie. And Companion. Oh boy! That is a movie. I implore you, do not watch the second trailer. Only watch the first. Don't even look at the actual poster. The writing in that movie is so clever. It was legitimately the first great movie I saw this year. I will say only this. It is a survival thriller with comedy. And Sophie Thatcher shined as Iris. So Dogman is for the family. Companion is only for adults. But both are equally fantastic. See Companion for Valentine's Day. You will not regret it. Now back to our regularly scheduled content. Hello everyone, and back to the Super Smash Bros. Cinematic Universe Box Office Records. And, well, we're gearing for the end, folks. Because sadly, Mufasa has taken over Sonic 3 in domestic. And Paramount is partially at fault here by completely removing the wind out of the movie's sails. Well, let's take a penultimate look at domestic. Yeah, we're running out of steam here. Realistically, we're not going to get out of the $230 million range. Not a fan of you, Disney adults. Not a fan of you at all. Consuming anything because it has a certain name on it. But not remotely considering the film's quality, or even the repercussions of said film on a certain industry. Namely the Western 2D animation industry. Do you people care at all? Or are you just content with schlock? Yeah, you bet I'm angry. Because you people would rather have USAID funded garbage instead of actual entertainment. You know what? I'm glad that department was shut down. Because for once, let's focus on actual Americans, shall we? Instead of giving our tax money to foreign adversaries. Okay, enough of that. Let's see what we actually got. And we ended up with $233,094,000. Now what about international? Well, that movie's not gonna move. Cause it's going to take $40 million overseas to take over Detective Pikachu. Because the money additions are quite a trickle. We have no clue if any more countries are going to add to the pot, so I think the bank is starting to run dry. Because domestically, we're not even getting $1 million anymore. And the sad thing is, we're not getting the DVD until April 15th. So it's going to be a hard 2 months. There's not enough money to keep the faucet flowing. Well, let's see what happens next week. But hey, I do have something to report for Worldwide. I will never tire of that theme. Our film has beaten Wreck-It Ralph. Thanks to
China,
which has grossed us $6 million total. Well, when one Asian country fails us, the other doesn't. And I thought Japan loved American culture. I guess not. And now, Sonic 3 is side by side by Mario where they belong. Again, stupid NFTs. as the film now has $471,994,000, which means we only need 6,000 to reach 472. The film can make that in its sleep. And now is the time we take a look at episodes 11 and 12 of Secret Level. I think we're due for an adventure in time and space. Episode 11 is based off the game Exodus, developed by Archetype Entertainment, which is a division of Wizards of the Coast, which is a subsidiary of Hasbro. If only they could bring back Glover. However, this company was built from the ground up in Austin by James Olin, who had left the ashes of what was left of BioWare after the slow burn that was the purchase by EA in 2007, as being bought by EA is a slow and painful death sentence. Because of the involvement of EA, I have no faith in the Star Wars or Dragon Age properties. One final note, James Olin started the company in April of 2019. As for this game's episode called Odyssey, we are in the interesting position that the writer of this episode is also the creator of the show itself, Tim Miller. Well, one thing's for sure, this wasn't based off the game by Wisdom Tree. Neither does this short star June, the main character from the original game. No, this short stars Nick Hansen, a mechanic, on the newly colonized world of Leiden. The second character we focus on is his daughter, Mari. From the get-go, we are introduced to the idea of the Traveler, which has the Traveler's creed of, we sail on the edge of light speed, where time moves differently. As each day goes by, years pass for those we leave behind. Our service, our sacrifice, discovers worlds, seeds hope, breaks empires. We are the Travelers. You see, Nick Hansen is in fact a widower. He lost his wife and eventually he loses his daughter. Because she has the idea to go into space on her own with a guy named Raphael. Nick goes on a mission to go and try to find her, but they are separated by time dilation. Mari had traveled to the planet called Scotia. While 1 year passed for Nick, 8 went by for Mari. Sadly, the planet turned into a radioactive hellscape where death might meet them. Thankfully, they escape and head for Malayu, where 3 years go by. But that's for Nick. 26 were for Mari. Nick gets another dead end, dealing with the fact that Celestials, dangerous creatures of this universe, would be on her tail. And thus he heads towards Hevelius, where 8 years have passed for Nick, and 32 have passed for Mari. And Nick surrenders to the Celestials, hoping that would give him the edge when he heads to Anafi, where 11 years have gone by. With 53 years for Mari. How is this girl still alive? Nick, wearing Celestial tech, has finally communicated with Mari. Unfortunately, during an intergalactic battle. Which honestly is pretty freaking cool, I'm not gonna lie. But when Nick gets to Mari, it's practically too late. He does everything he can until he lets her go. She lived the full life of a traveler and brings home an artifact, inspiring him to go on more adventures. The biggest problem with this episode is that it was very narrated. Tim didn't have the faith in his viewers that they would infer the information from the screen itself. Which is pretty disheartening, honestly, because the world I saw in this short was intriguing. And the fact is, this is actually advertising for a game that has no current release date. The game's full title will be Exodus Become the Traveler. Here's hoping this one gets an audience. It will be for the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X and S, and the PC. Here's a lesson in not giving up. Episode 12 is based off the franchise called Spelunky, an originally freeware 2D platform game made by independent developer Derek Yu and released for the PC, with its first public release all the way back on December 21st of 2008. Yeah, 16 years. Spelunky is essentially a dungeon crawl, getting its design influence from La Mulana, Rick Dangerous, Spelunker, and the Super Mario Bros. Series. Obviously, Cave Story was an influence too. However, its main protagonist that went by many names, such as Derek, Iowa Jack, and Guy Spelunky, was clearly inspired by Indiana Jones. However, this episode, called Tally, referring to the tallying of deaths on the wall, was based off a short story with a teleplay both written by Tamsin Muir, who is an award-winning science fiction author from New Zealand, known for writing the Locked Tomb series, and married a guy she met on Homestuck to have just a platonic relationship. She prefers tacos, if you get my drift. Which makes it all the most unsurprising the main character is not Guy Spelunky, but his daughter, who appears in Spelunky 2. Say hello to Annabelle, Anna Spelunky, the main protagonist of Spelunky 2. A game that was released first on the PlayStation 4 on September 15th of 2020, then on the PC on September 29th of 2020, then on the Switch on August 26th of 2021, then on the Xbox One Series X and S on January 13th of 2022. And the idea of this game is that Annabelle, has to go to the moon to find her missing parents, which explains why Guy is not in the short. And short it is. It's barely 6 minutes long. And in this short, Anna Spelunky is voiced by little Gamora herself, Ariana Greenblatt. And she is accompanied by someone they call Liz Mutton, an actual spelunker you can meet in the game. She is described as a tough-as-nails adventurer who is hard to warm up to and needs her solitude, but also cares deeply for her friends. The problem is that she resembles more Margaret Tunnell than Liz Mutton. They didn't even give her signature green bow on the side of her head. I suspect a little appropriation, if you get my drift. So let's go through the short and see where they went wrong. The first issue is that this short treats Liz Mutton as if she was from the first game, where she was playable from the start. But this is Anna's adventure. That's Spelunky 2. Liz was unlockable via a coffin. Liz wouldn't have all those adventures that she's claimed to had, so canonically, the story fails. Second, Anna never addresses why she's on this adventure at all. She addresses that she's part of a bloodline of spelunkers.
Lighten up. No need to worry. Spelunking's in my blood.
And gets very emotional when she fails.
I'm not hurt or anything. Just
hollowed out.
In other words, the why of the story is completely gone. Looks like Miss Award-winning writer didn't want to deal with her motivation, deciding to focus on learning from her mistakes instead of giving her a reason why she is failing. It's like they expect you to know what the game is like. Remember, she's on that quest to save her parents. I can tell from this short that Tamsin had other motives than actually telling the story of the game. I can tell you what this short is about. The message. Well, we only have 3 episodes left of Secret Level, and we're going to make them count. Let's see what happens next week. Maybe the list might change, you never know. The video game to film industry is quite unpredictable. Just how the first movie will fare in the box office. Namely, a Minecraft movie coming April 4th this year by Warner Brothers. Followed by Street Fighter on March 20th of 2026 by Sony and Legendary. And then the Super Mario Bros. Movie 2 on April 3rd, 2026 by Universal Illumination. Next, we have Sonic the Hedgehog 4, coming out March 19th, 2027 by Paramount and Skydance. For shows, we have Secret Level Season 2 on the theoretical date of April 2025 by Amazon Prime. I will not change that information unless shown otherwise, because I need more. And next we have the films in production with no release date, some of which we don't even know if they're alive at all, like Metal Gear Solid from Sony, though we have high hopes for Legend of Zelda by Sony, but we have none for Detective Pikachu 2 from Warner Brothers, and Mega Man by Netflix, which we have no idea what's going on with production at all. At least everyone involved is doing quite handsomely. We just need more information. And Pac-Man is a huge question mark. And last but not least, we have the shows in production with no release date. First, we have the live-action Pokemon show featuring Red on Netflix, which is still doing okay. And we have the Minecraft animated series by Netflix, which is still doing okay. But we don't have any more information than that. Come on, Nintendo Direct, give me more information! And now we are done. If you like what you see, press like, subscribe, and smash that bell in order to get notifications on the channel where everything grows on you.